Good day, my friends. It is time for you to take charge of your promotion. Joseph didn't wait until all the circumstances was right and perfect for him to show initiative, for him to put 110%. My friends, stick with me to the end, and I guarantee your life will change. Concerning diligence, my friend. Diligence. For God, He brings the increase, not man. God will multiply your seed. Hard, honest work. God will multiply your seed in due times, my friend. Whatever you put your hands to, do it at your best, my friend. Do it at your best, like Joseph. Joseph was in slavery, but not in slavery in his mind. He let God, Yahweh, the God of Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob, the God who was and is to come. Joseph put his trust in that God. He worked diligently at all times. My friend, deceive not yourself. Do not let the crowd influence you to deceive yourself. For God hath already let us know the wisdom of this world is foolishness. I said the wisdom of this world is foolishness. God's kingdom, God's way, God's wisdom is greater. My friend, whatever you put your hands to, do it unto God. He will give you promotion. Wickedness and evil thoughts towards your employer does not prosper you, my friend. Do not harvest these things in your mind. Focus like Joseph. Joseph had all the reason. Joseph had more reason than all of us to be evil, to think evil, to harvest evil in his heart and his mind. But Joseph did not do that. My friend, look how Joseph was rewarded. Look how Joseph was rewarded at the end. I'm going to make it practical for you, my friends. When you take a job, do not deceive your employers. Or do not try to deceive your employers, my friend, and justify it with scriptures. There's no scripture to justify deception. There's no scripture to justify deception, my friend. Our God does not plant seeds through deception. Joseph did not ill speak of his employer's household. Joseph placed everything in God's hands. His God. His God. Our God. Who speak of God with their lips, but not with their heart. My friend, you're only deceiving yourself. Getting into conversations with other employees to your demise. My friend, to your demise. It's not good. You take a job. You promise to do that job. Do the job. Do the job with excellence, my friend. Any job. You're working at a fast food restaurant. Why did you take the job? because you couldn't do better at the time. Nothing isn't wrong with that, my friend. Let's turn that start into opportunity. Our opportunity is excellent. Did you start lower than Joseph, my friend? I said, did you start lower than Joseph? I guess you did. Why did I say that? I guess you did. It is your choice. You see, Joseph was in physical slavery, but not mental slavery. But you now are in mental slavery and not physical slavery. My friends, when you are in mental slavery, you deceive yourself. You deceive yourself. Mental slavery keep you from growth, my friends. All that you do, do it with diligence. Be proud of what you're doing. My friend, there is always a wise man looking on. Through God's eyes. God will bring you before kings and presidents and princes. God will bring you before rulers. The Bible says that. God will bring you increase, man, my friend. Do not deceive yourself. God will bring you increase. Man may fabricate things, wicked, and hatch wicked thoughts. But God, you see it with Joseph, my friend. Man fabricated wicked thoughts and wicked deeds against him. But God kept him through it all. If you make your bed in hell, the word said God will be there with you. If you make your bed, wherever your bed is, God will be there with you. My friends, so you take the job. I'm speaking to my people. Who is my people? God's people. Who is God people? God people is the one who hear his word and apply it in their lives. I cannot speak to fools, my friend. A foolish man see himself wise in all his ways. A foolish man see himself wise in all his ways. He is wise in his own eyes, the word says. But a wise man heed the word of God. So you take that job and you're wicked. When you went for the job, you said all that you need to say. Your best, you dress in your best and your best attitude on. You was hired, you got the job, whatever the job may be. But now, 6 months into the job, 3 months into the job, 1 month into the job, your old ways start acting up. The bondage of your mind, your slavery in your mind. You're physically free, but your mind in slavery, enslaved. Your mind saying, no, they didn't hire me to do that. My friend, wisdom and knowledge is power. The more knowledge you acquire in this life, the more knowledge you acquire in this life is the more power you have. The more power you have is the more wealth you have. The word will say, they didn't hire you to do that. They ain't paying me to do that. My friend, when you're busy, 8 hours fly. When you're idle, 8 hours take long. Every day, apply yourself to learn something new. Look how a wise man think. They hire you. You're working in the factory. You're working in the factory. They hire you to sweep. They hire you to clean. You're sweeping, you're cleaning. 4 hours in the day, you're idle. But you satisfied with that. You work 4 hours and you're idle for 4 hours. You're getting paid. The world wisdom said that is good. Good. God wisdom say that's not good. God wisdom say the devil does find work for idle hands. So now your mind racing with the 4 hours that you're not working. You're plotting deception. You have a lot of time on your hand. Old talk. You're on your cell phone. You're texting. You're WhatsApping. Old talk. Bacchanal. You're working. You're at your job, but not on your job. My friends, here how wisdom applies that 4 hours. You finish sleep. You're in a factory. There it is. Opportunity arise. The opportunity arise for you to learn a machine. And you start using that machine. Say, boss, I notice your short staff over there. I done cleaning now, boss. See what's going on. Give me an opportunity to use that machine. Let me help with that machine, your production. Go ahead, go ahead. You start using the machine. You're putting excellence in it, in what you do. You get the opportunity to use the machine. You start cleaning around your machine. You start checking the machine. You go on and pull up the machine on YouTube and find out how to use this machine, what this machine needs, things like that. You start educating yourself about this machine. And you start applying that education. That's what Joseph did, my friend. Anything he did to excellence, my friend. You start applying yourself now. You was a cleaner in the fast food place. Opportunity arise where the person who manned the fryer got sick. And instead of sitting down, doing nothing, you wash your hands. They tell the supervisor, I could hang in there. I could hang in there for the day, you know. That's no problem. I don't want to sit down and do nothing for the rest of the day. Half the times, I doing nothing. I don't mind hanging it. So you get an opportunity. You're manning the fryer now. Or you're assisting in the kitchen. So half the day you're cleaning, half the day you're assisting. But the world telling you ain't getting paid for that. Don't worry about that. God does bring the increase. Always keep that in your mind. God brings the increase. Let me break it down for you, my friend. So you would release that mind from bondage. Release that mind from bondage, my friend. God bring the increase. Have faith. Trust Him. So you're working in the factory. You're applying yourself. You learn the machine more than anybody else. Because your passion is to please God. Then your employer. So you're working at all diligence. Now, right in that fast food place now, people coming to buy. A boss, a wealthy man, a businessman sees talent underused. That's what Potiphar did. He saw talent underused and he applied that talent to his estate and his wealth was increased. So here now you working diligently. A cleaner who got the opportunity to use the fryer. But the world telling you, they ain't paying you for that. You're foolish. You foolish one who listen to the world. You keep him back yourself. Knowledge is power. But God wisdom said, put your hands there. Your reward would come. Your increase would come. So this man, he comes and he sees this person, like, come at this fast food place often. This person is kind. This person is efficient. This person is enterprising. Their talent is underused. If your employer does not see that, if you think your supervisor trying to keep it back, forget that, my friend. They're using it. They can't use you, my friend. Apply yourself. God sees all and knows all. You're not doing it unto man, you're doing it unto God. Apply yourself, my friends. When you apply yourself, my friends, that person say, there's one that's standing. Who is that man? Who is that girl? Who is that child? My friend, I observed you. You are a hard, intelligent worker. What is the position you hold? I am a cleaner that using the fryer. My friend, I can do with someone with your talents and intuition. I can do with someone who would take the initiative, someone who would work with diligence. What makes you work with that diligence, my friend? I do it unto my God. I am not doing this unto man, I'm doing it unto my God. And once my God is pleased, man would be pleased. They have no choice, because my God stands for excellence. I have a factory, my friend. I want one like you. You are much more than a cleaner. You have manager's potential. Come see me. It might be in your same environment, your boss, who you never seen before, or one of his children might then visit their chain of fast food or their groceries or whatever, wherever you are, my friend. And they might ask, who is this person? This name does not show up as a manager or a supervisor. Who is this person? This is Alan, a servant. That's just a cleaner, my friend. He is not important. And then the son or the daughter observed diligence, or even the employer, and said, I would like to meet with Alan. So you get called to the main office now, and you go into the main office, and you're worried in your mind, oh my gosh. I am speaking of myself, my friends. I will tell you a story. So here I am working in this warehouse. A young fella. The boss son managing the warehouse. They bring in bikes and toys and the wholesale to different stores. And I'm working in the warehouse. Young guy, probably have 17 at the time. And while working there, my mom always teach me, listen, whatever you do, do your best. Put your best foot forward. God would always bring the increase, not man. So don't idle. Don't have idle time, my son. Always find something to do. So I'm in the warehouse and things slow with the business. Now what we do, we take our goods and we prepare them to go out. When we get the order, we take out the goods and we organize them to go out. And here I'm in the warehouse. Things slow. So when things slow, the guys would get together and they would kick ball in the warehouse. They have a big area. And one would be on lookout. Now the boss on there, and one would be on lookout to see when the big boss coming. So if the big boss just show up at surprise, that's to tell you. And they would say, hey, the boss coming. And it's to scrap that football and everybody look like they're working. But listen, I would never join that football. What I would do, I would go, now this, oh my God. Hey, and I didn't even know Joseph's story to that extent yet. I can't even remember even knowing Joseph's story to that extent. If I had heard about Joseph, it's vaguely. But here I'm in this warehouse applying my best at all times. So while they're kicking ball, the boss was like, come on, join us now. One day the man talk, he said, listen, lighten up, boy, you just take life too serious. Come on, kick a little ball with us. I said, nah, I couldn't. I go into the back of the warehouse. And that hundreds of roller skate. In the days when roller skate was a big thing in Trinidad, they used to bring in roller skate and wholesale to stores. But then the roller skate went out. So that hundreds of roller skate and the box bursting open and they're falling down and they're all over the place in a section of the warehouse. So what I did now, I went and started pack these roller skates, get tape and tape up the boxes, clean our area, and started repack these roller skates on pallets and pack them neat because they're all over, they're falling down there in a mess. And while they're playing in front there, I packing these roller skates. So while I packing these roller skates now, they kicking ball in front. And it take me about a week. Every time when I don't have nothing to do, I would go to that corner. Workers pass. What are you doing there, boy? Boy, if you make the boss tell us that to do, boy, you know what you do, you way. And I'm taking them on. My God, I serve my God. Even as a child, I just have this instilled in me. I come to work 8 hours, I work in my 8 hours. And I went about that diligently packing those roller skates. And one day, the boss son, we were sectioning off our parts in the warehouse, like the Bella, blocking off a section in the big open warehouse. And he was directing them what to do. Directing us what to do. About 3 of us. And he got a phone call and he had to go on this call. And he left us there. After he left us about 15 minutes, I know what he wanted to get done. I could see it in plain sight. It's no rocket science, so everybody sit down. So I continue working, and he came out about 3 hours after. And he watched the thing. He said, wow. All I did good, man. Well, the other 2 guys, they were sitting down. As he come out, they get up and they start to help. No problem, I don't used to take on them things. That don't bother me. It doesn't matter to me. And the section was completed more or less. And he said, wow, you all do good, boy. Yeah, I like this. So another time again, we used to build bikes. Remember, I built my first bike from scratch. So we used to build these bikes, mount up these bikes, I should say, because they come in boxes. And when somebody put in an order for 100 bikes, or 25 bikes, or 50 bikes, we would mount them up. So 4 of us mountain bikes. And they think Charles is a fool, but Charles isn't a fool. Charles would always apply himself to the best. So they say, like, you go a race and see who can build the most bike. Charles alone mounting up 20 bikes. Yeah, that's 3 mounting up 30 bikes. So, but when we mounting the bikes now, we stacking the bikes together. But so let's all stack the bikes on the side. So we stacked all the bikes together. I have no problem with that. So the order finished. The boss come out. He check the order. They put it on the truck for delivery or whatever. So one day, the boss son called me in the office. He said, Alan, you show excellence, you know. I spoke to my father about you. Keep up the good work. He observed. He was idle, he was privileged, but he observed. I didn't do it for his observation. So he told a day in the office, he said, Charles, I know every bike you mount, you know. I know every bike you mount. When you mount a bike, the brakes does be positioned in the right place, all the brakes adjusted, all the seat adjusted, everything adjusted. I know every bike you mount. It looks different. I can choose every bike. They can mix up all the bikes. I know every bike you mount. So I just sitting down listening to him. I'm taking nothing of it. Now, we used to gather at the main store, and then a van would take us up to the warehouse. So one morning, when we came together at the main store now, the boss son said, listen, stay back. My father wants to see you. Boy, anytime I hear stay back, my father wants to see you. You get any axe. So I sit down there. I said, my God. I worried, I telling you, because I said, boy, because I know no matter how much you do good and you try to do your best, a person could set you up. They could try to set you up like Joseph. Joseph ended up in prison and he was innocent, you know. So I sit down there, I waiting, and the father, brother is in front of the father office. And but it's busy, it's in the morning. And back and forth, he walking. I sit down there. I must start to sit down there about 6:45. No, actually it was around 6:30, so. So I sit down there waiting. He passing back and forth, he ain't saying nothing. And then about 10 o'clock, I say, boy, come, Alan. I go in his office. When I go in his office now, I sit down there, I tell him, I sweating, boy. I like, what's going on here, boy? Somebody had to set me up, boy. Why come? He said, Alan, my son, tell me about you. Now, all the other fellas kicking ball, that was the real partners, you know. They used to go on lime and drink after work or whatever. He had a couple of them, they said, hand. He said, my son told me about you. Although the son was probably privileged at the time, he had his father's business and his future at heart. He said, my son told me about you. He's doing this one in the warehouse, showing some initiative, could work on your own. I'm going to open my parts, please. A section, we're going to start bringing parts and we're going to wholesale parts, but I want to open a section selling car parts. And he actually told me that he told him when on your school vacation, you used to work in a parts place. And I want you to run that section for me. So here I am, just about 17 years old. And I instantly get promoted to manage the parts place section. So listen to this now. So the setting up the parts place, building up and whatever, helping packing the shelf, taking in goods, whatever in the parts place there. Initially I was there alone, probably with one person. Well, at the toy store next door. So they kind of have a door joining the two of them. So when the toy store not busy, they would have one person come over and help me assist pack the shelves and whatnot. So helping pack and whatever. So here I am, the youngest manager you ever promote. So as a manager now, I'm managing the parts place. I title, my salary and all that, but I nothing. I glad I get opportunity to learn more now. So you have two other stores, toy stores, and you have two managers. So here I am, the youngest manager you ever had. But listen to this, that wasn't all. So one evening, about after being a manager for 6 months, I used to be traveling, and so one evening, the son sent me, they bought a new van, a new pickup. They put on Margrim's tires, he works on this pickup. And the son sent me now, he tell me go over, they used to park the vehicles in a churchyard. He said go over in the churchyard, you see the van, the new van, bring it over for me and park it in front of me. So I come over with it and I park it in front of the business place. He said, all right, you know what? The salesman, so when I pack a hand keys and say, hey, I had it out, you know. He said, wait, rushing again. That's his son. He said, listen, the salesman has used this in the day to move around and do the sales and then in the nights and on the weekends, you could have this van to go home and come back. And so I said, I watch him. I said, boss, I can't carry that van over. I said, boy, I can't go home with that van. I live in a poor neighborhood. It's a brand new van. I ain't going home with that van. Me, I know where to park that van, boss. So he said, I said, boy, my mother, I can't go and just go with that van. I had to speak with my mom first. He said, get your mom on the phone for me. I went inside and they called my mom. So he called my mom. He said, Mom's, how you going? This is Mr. So-and-so. I don't want to call her name. This is Mr. So-and-so. I have a brand new van Alan will be using to come home with, and I give him it to use. He tell me he have to talk to you before you bring him a new vehicle. She said, Mr. So-and-so, yes. He said, yeah, know where to park. He said, no, he could come home with it. His father would put his vehicle outside, and he would bring the van inside in the garage, and the father would park behind it. He said, good. All right, thanks. And he come off the phone. He said, your mom say, you could come home. She have a place for the van to park. So I took the keys. Now the youngest manager he have, just 17 years old, have a brand new vehicle driving. Mag rims and tires. Brand new vehicle, mag rims, tires. I didn't even asking for them things. When I even studying, I just glad for the opportunity to run the parts place, excited about it. Now my passion and excitement was always there. So I have this vehicle. But listen to this. None of the other managers had a vehicle. None of the other managers. I used to come and open the parts place. I had my own keys. So, it's like Sunday morning we would open for a half day. I would come open it and close up. My friend, God has brought the increase. So here I am, promoted from the warehouse and in the space, and those my friends, the other managers working for more kind of 18 years, 18 years at the time and thing, So my friend, as I said, God has brought the increase. So the wisdom of the world saying, boy, they ain't paying you for that. Them roller skates, don't touch them roller skates, boy. But the wisdom of God saying, put your best at 8 hours. I wasn't doing that unto man. I was doing it. I was listening to what my mom told me. She said I wasn't doing that unto man. As a matter of fact, my mom told me a story when she was young. She said she was a young person and she was going to this job interview as a seamstress to sew. And the boss lady, when she was going into the interview, she come in through the doorway and saw a bobbin, a thread on the ground. And instead of walking over it, she picked it up and placed it on the table. And she went to the interview. People a long time was wise. And even now, employers are wise, but they, a lot of people think they're wiser than the employers. I could outsmart them. But anyway, she sat down for the interview, and after the lady spoke to her, the lady told her, all right, when could you start? She was shocked. Her resume was not impressive. She knew how to sew. She teach herself to sew. She gave her a little test, and she asked her when she could start. But she said, but it had 6 other people there when she was so long waiting. So she said, but what about these other people? How come you hire me? The lady said, use the only one, pick up that bobbin or thread on the ground and put it on the table. Everybody else walk over it. She said, I don't understand. She said, I put that thread there. See, if they cannot respect the ingredients for their work, or they would not respect or perform when I'm not watching. My friends, God bring the increase, not man. Always remember that. Always remember, God brings the increase. Do not deceive yourself. Free your mind from bondage. Free your mind from slavery. Let your mind submit to your heart, and let your heart submit to God. God will bring the increase, my friend, at all times. God brings the increase, not man. Blessings.
Proverbs chapter 18. An unfriendly person pursues selfish ends, and against all sound judgment starts quarrels. Fools find no pleasure in understanding, but delight in airing their own opinions. When wickedness comes, so does contempt, and with shame comes reproach. The words of the mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a rushing stream. It is not good to be partial to the wicked, and so deprive the innocent of justice. The lips of fools bring them strife, and their mouths invite a beating. The mouths of fools are their undoing, and their lips are a snare to their very lives. The words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down to the inmost parts. One who is slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe.